Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Revenue Cycle Decoded podcast. My name is Gina Cornett, and I will be your host on your revenue cycle journey. Today, we are going to talk about the exciting field of healthcare revenue cycle and how you might fit in if you are currently seeking a job or changing careers, or if you are just curious about the career of healthcare revenue cycle. So I am going to talk about some of the different ways that you might get involved in revenue cycle, some of the different career options. We'll talk a little bit about what exactly is healthcare revenue cycle, what skills and qualifications you need, and how to progress your career or advance your career in revenue cycle. So let's get started. All right. So first of all, revenue cycle is an exciting career field, and it's a fun career field. And many people who are in revenue cycle express a high degree of job satisfaction. There is a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of different specializations, a lot of different jobs in revenue cycle, and pretty much you can fit in any of those jobs if you have the right skills and qualifications. So first of all, let's talk about what revenue cycle is. At its core, it is the process of managing the financial aspects of healthcare services. From the time that a patient first seeks medical attention to the payment received for those services, revenue cycle helps to ensure smooth financial operations and supports the delivery of quality patient care. It serves as the heartbeat, if you will, of a healthcare organization by making sure that that organization remains financially viable and stable and successful so that it can keep its doors open to keep seeing patients. Healthcare revenue cycle encompasses many stages. The three primarily are front end, middle, and back end revenue cycle. But around those different stages, there are a lot of different career fields and specializations. It all starts when the patient first schedules an encounter and is registered, and essential demographic and insurance information is gathered. Sometimes we have to determine if an authorization is needed or referral, if we have to do further verification of benefits and eligibility, and if we have to obtain treatment approvals. Once services are rendered, there's a whole nother stage of revenue cycle, which encompasses documentation. So this is where we find our documentation specialists and educators. We also have our medical coders who take the documentation and assign CPT and ICD-10 codes, which basically are the codes that tell an insurance payer what was done and why it was done so that the claim can be paid. There's also medical billers who put together the claim and get it sent out and are responsible for sending the claim to the clearinghouse, which is a company that then sends the claims on to the payers. And then claims specialists may also be responsible for recording payments and following up on any patient responsibility or denials or secondary insurance claims. Then there's also people who are involved in setting the fees or contracting with payers. There are people on the insurance side who are insurance specialists or customer service representatives. So you can see there's a lot to this revenue cycle field. So what are some of the skills and qualifications that someone needs to have if they are interested in revenue cycle? Well, if you are looking for a more advanced career, you may require certifications or special education, but for entry level into revenue cycle careers, you can have a high school diploma or perhaps an associate's degree in business or management or healthcare administration to get your foot in the door. But really, frequently, some of the entry-level positions, high school diploma is all that is needed as far as formal education. But there are some skills that are really essential to have in revenue cycle. And some of those include an attention to detail. Now, this is really, really important because revenue cycle professionals handle complex billing codes and medical records and sensitive patient information. Organizational skills are also very important because people involved in revenue cycle are managing and prioritizing multiple tasks every day. I can tell you in my experience in revenue cycle, no day is exactly the same. There's always something new happening. Revenue cycle professionals also need to have strong analytical and problem-solving abilities. So if you are a bit of a detective, sometimes that work in the back-end revenue cycle or even front-end revenue cycle can really be a great place for you to use those skills. Often it does take analysis and problem-solving abilities and good detective skills to find out why a claim is not being paid and to get it paid appropriately. You also want to have excellent communication skills because revenue cycle professionals interact with patients, insurance companies, physicians, and other healthcare professionals, and with other departments throughout an organization. So when you start exploring a career in healthcare revenue cycle, you quickly find that having an associate degree or a high school diploma can at least give you that initial foundation for getting started. But if you are pivoting into a revenue cycle career and it can really help to have a bachelor's degree. And as you advance your career, you may want to pursue a bachelor's degree. This can help you to make an even more meaningful impact on patient care and help you understand revenue cycle better and can really help to advance your career as well. So we talked a little bit about some of the positions available in revenue cycle, and it's really a very diverse and rewarding world with a wide range of opportunities. Especially if you are a recent graduate, a career changer, or even a healthcare professional. We see medical practice managers, we see nurses, we even see some physicians who move into revenue cycle positions. It can give you a new horizon. And so here's just a sample of some of the revenue cycle positions. One would be patient access specialist. This is really an entry-level position. Often a high school diploma is sufficient. And in this type of a position, you would be interacting directly with patients in registration and scheduling. You may also be involved in verifying benefits and eligibility, entering their information into the healthcare system, and helping them set up for their appointments. Now, within this area of front-end revenue cycle, there could also be positions as an eligibility specialist or a benefits specialist or an authorization specialist. So there are many positions as it becomes more granular within this field. Another field in revenue cycle would be medical billing specialist. And again, often a high school diploma or an associate's degree would be sufficient to get into this field. If you have a knack for numbers and attention to detail, this could be the perfect fit for you. You would handle medical claims and ensure accurate billing and timely reimbursement, and work closely with insurance companies to address any billing discrepancies and verify claim statuses. Another field would be health information management specialist. Now, this career field often does require either certification or an associate's degree, but you can often get your foot in the door. And sometimes it can be as simple as becoming a clerk in the health information management department of a hospital. But in this role, you would be responsible for organizing and managing patient health information and medical records. And this role is really critical in maintaining accurate and secure patient records and ensuring compliance with healthcare regulations and facilitating smooth revenue cycle processes. Now, another role is accounts receivable specialist. And this role is responsible for following up on claims that either have a remaining patient balance due, or for whatever reason were not paid by the insurance company, or may need to be sent on to a secondary payer. And this role ensures that those claims are ultimately paid or written off according to the organization's policies. This is just a sampling of some of the more entry-level positions in healthcare revenue cycle. There are also positions in medical coding, which often does require a certification, but not necessarily a degree. And many people who are coming from a healthcare background, such as nurses, physical therapists, respiratory therapists, have the ideal background and knowledge in medical terminology to be successful in coding. So as you can see, there could be plenty of opportunities in revenue cycle. This is just scratching the surface. There are many, many other job opportunities, and we're going to talk about some of those other opportunities on this podcast in future episodes. But what I want you to know is that once you get into a career in revenue cycle, the sky is the limit. You can continue to advance your career up through the ranks. You could become a revenue cycle analyst, a revenue cycle consultant, helping other organizations with their revenue cycle. You could become a director of revenue cycle or even a vice president of revenue cycle in your organization. So many opportunities for career growth. And this is a fast growing career and not expected to go away anytime soon. So are you interested? Have I piqued your interest in a career in revenue cycle? I hope so. If you are interested in learning more about landing a job in revenue cycle, then I hope that you'll join me on my free webinar. Come to revenuecycledecoded.com and you can sign up for your spot, and you can come and join and learn more about revenue cycle, career prospects, how to land your first job, even if you don't have experience. I would welcome you to join me, and I look forward to meeting you there. That's it for today's podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have questions, please send them to me at help@revenuecycledecoded.com, and I'll be happy to try to answer them or include your question on a future podcast. Thanks.